Hello everyone and welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room. My name is Kelly and I work in the sales department here at NinjaTrader. I'd like to welcome all of you to today's NinjaTrader orientation event. Before we get going, I would like to do just a quick test of audio and visual, so if you can see the slide I'm projecting and can hear my voice, please type a Y into the room for me. All right, wonderful. It does look like I am coming in loud and clear. Before we get going, I am just going to post a quick poll question into the room. Just asking, are you currently using NinjaTrader? So you can go ahead and fill that out. While everyone is filling out that poll question, I would like to let you all know that NinjaTrader is a free application for advanced charting, market analytics, automated strategy development, and trade simulation. We only charge for a product if and when you decide to trade live on the NinjaTrader platform. Now, if you are just getting started with us, NinjaTrader makes every attempt to remove hurdles to get started at no cost to you. Now, today, I'll be connected to our free data feed demo from NinjaTrader Brokerage. This brokerage connection uses CQG data, and data demo sign-up information is available in the announcement box that I have posted at the bottom of the page. All you need to do is click on that free trial link. All right, so let's just go ahead and take a look at our poll results here. It looks like we have a little bit of everybody joining us today. So the majority of those have already downloaded and started using NinjaTrader, so that is great to hear. The next is we do have some people who have downloaded but haven't started using NinjaTrader. And then finally, we do have a couple of you who haven't even downloaded NinjaTrader yet. Now, I think you will all see something that you can learn from today's webinar. For those of you who have already downloaded and are using or even not using NinjaTrader, you're going to see some of the advanced features of NinjaTrader. So a bunch of different things that you can do to make NinjaTrader how you want it to work for you. And then for those of you who haven't downloaded NinjaTrader yet, I would always invite you to get started by downloading NinjaTrader for free. You can either do so at the announcement box that I have posted at the bottom of the screen. There is an option down below. Otherwise, we actually have a really great webinar coming up later today where I am actually going to walk you through and we are going to download NinjaTrader together and get started with a free data feed demo. So for those of you who haven't downloaded, I would always invite you to come to that webinar as well. That is going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and you'll be walking through that with me. Okay, so as a futures company, I just have to go ahead and read this disclaimer real quick. Now, it is important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodity futures contracts. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and will depend on your specific circumstance and financial resources. It is possible to lose all the funds deposited with your broker and could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at brokerage support at ninjatrader.com for more information or for a copy of the CFTC full risk disclosure. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation nor a recommendation, but simply educational in nature. All right, so we're just going to take a quick look here at the objectives that we want to cover today. So what we're going to do is, during our presentation, we're actually looking to give you a high-level view into the numerous capabilities of the NinjaTrader platform. And what we'll be looking at is we're actually presenting a workspace which includes many of the windows that can be used in NinjaTrader for various aspects of trading on the NinjaTrader platform. Now, don't panic when you see this workspace. It might be a little intimidating because we do have several windows open in that workspace. But today what we're going to do is we're actually going to break down these windows one by one to take a look into those many different features. Now, our goal is that while viewing this presentation, you will see that NinjaTrader itself can be as easy or advanced as you need. Now, today, over each one of these features, we're giving just an overview. So we're not going to go into depth on how to do or how to build each of these features in NinjaTrader. But what's great is that today's presentation is actually the start of a series of educational webinars. So everything that we're just overviewing today, we're going to build on later this week in additional webinars. So let's just go ahead and pop over here so that you can see our additional webinars. All right, so here is just a list of all of our different webinars this week. And again, each of these is going to be building on what we're learning today. Now, we do know that everybody's week gets busy, and so what you can do is you can actually register for these future events, and then you'll receive a reminder email about that upcoming event, just so that you know that it's coming up and that you can attend it. Now, today's session itself is going to last about 30 minutes, but I do want to keep today interactive, so feel free to put your questions into the room at any time or even at the end. Even if I don't answer right away, just rest assured that I will answer by the end of the webinar today. Okay, so let's go ahead and just switch back to our slideshow real quick. Okay, so this collection of windows is what we're going to be building on this entire week. And this collection of windows is actually called a workspace. So now workspaces are just a collection of windows that we set up and save under a specific name and create. So think of this like your computer desktop and Microsoft. So imagine if you open up your computer and every window is right where you want it. So that's basically what we can do with workspaces. Now, depending on what you want to trade, you can also save and then open up specific workspaces you created just for that. So you can open up a workspace for futures or forex trading. Now, with our workspace, we've titled this the Blue Dojo Workspace, which you will be hearing throughout this series of webinars. Now, we titled that just because I wanted to, because remember, you can title it whatever you want. So now, if you have already downloaded NinjaTrader, which a majority of you have, you may notice that the colors that we have in our workspace are not what you would see just in the default windows of NinjaTrader. We actually have customized all of our windows for our specific workspace. Now, throughout the rest of the week, in all those future webinars that I keep referring to, we're actually going to show you how to customize this for yourself. So for each of these different features, we're going to have specific webinars, and you can learn this for yourself. So yes, Steve, you can learn how to do this for yourself. I would invite you to attend those future webinars for each of the specific features that you want to learn. And again, you can take a look at our product education schedule at the link here. Now, Steve, for your question, is it hard? We do have our great instructors to teach you and walk you through each of these features, and so you can learn by attending. But if you have additional questions that they may not have covered during the webinar and you just want a little bit more assistance with it, you can contact our support team. So you can just email platformsupport@ninjatrader.com, and they can assist you with anything further that any further questions that you may have in regards to each of these different features. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to switch over to our desktop and take a look at our live workspace. All right, is everyone able to see my live workspace here? You should kind of see in the lower right-hand corner some movement, and in this SuperDOM window here. Just want to make sure everybody can see it, and if you can't, just let me know throughout the webinar today. All right, so first what we're going to start with is I'm actually going to walk you through 3 different charting screens, and we're going to show you some of the analytic capabilities of NinjaTrader. Now we're going to walk through 3 screens, but everything I'm showing you on each of these individual charts can be done within one single chart window. So you can combine it, instead of 3 charts, you can have just 1. But for demonstration purposes today, I just wanted to separate these chart windows so that I can show you better those different features of NinjaTrader. So the first window we're going to take a look at in my workspace here is in the upper left-hand corner. But I'm going to go ahead and maximize it so we can focus just on this one specific chart. Now what we're taking a look at in this chart window is how we can add our favorite indicators to our charts with just a few clicks. So now in this chart, in the upper box here, I have added an exponential moving average, or EMA indicator. And so that's this orange line here. And what that shows is just the average between the high and the low for this specific time frame. So we'll just follow that indicator here. Now if the orange is hard to see, we can always go ahead and change our indicator color. And we're just going to do it real quick here. So let's say I wanted to change it to magenta instead. So now that EMA, it's the same exact indicator. We just changed to magenta so that we can see it a little bit more clearly on our chart. Now down below here in our lower box, I've also added the MACD indicator. Now the MACD is a popular indicator, but if you're not familiar with it, that's totally okay. We just use this indicator for demonstration purposes so that you can see how easy it is to have an indicator on our chart. Now if you want to add more indicators, I already mentioned that you can do it with just a couple of clicks. So let's say I wanted to add a new indicator. Our list is over here of all the indicators we can add. And then to add it, I would simply just double click on the indicator. It would add it to this lower left-hand box. And then to add, I would just click OK. Now I'm not actually going to add this today, and so you won't see any new indicators pop on my chart. So I'm just going to close out of it in just a minute. But the great thing about NinjaTrader is, as you can see all these indicators over here, now NinjaTrader provides over 100 already built-in indicators that you can use and modify on your own charts. And so you can see these are all the preloaded ones, and they're all listed alphabetically. So you can take a look and you can go ahead and browse through that at your convenience. Now the great thing about NinjaTrader is that you're not limited to the indicators that we have preloaded. Those are just what's available in NinjaTrader when you get started. So we want to give you tools to get started, but you also have tools to keep adding on to NinjaTrader. So what you can do is you can also connect to over 400 ecosystem partners, and many of those provide additional indicators that can be added into NinjaTrader. So let's just pop back to our slideshow real quick, just so that I can give you a better definition of what our NinjaTrader ecosystem is. So what it is it's a vast ecosystem of third-party ecosystem partners who are dedicated to creating indicators, add-ons, strategies, and education for the NinjaTrader platform. So we do have over 400 ecosystem partners, so you can get more indicators, add-ons, strategies, and even education for trading from those partners. Okay, we're going to go back to our desktop here. So we took a look at how we can have indicators displayed on our chart. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this window. All right, so the next window we're going to take a look at is going to be the window in the upper right-hand corner. Again, we're going to go ahead and maximize it here so we can take a look at it more closely. Now, what we're looking at in this window, or in this chart window, is how we can use layers and multi-level time frame, all in just one panel. Now, with NinjaTrader, what we mean by layers is just we can overlay objects in a chart. And then for our multi-level time frame, we have two different bar types. So now, NinjaTrader itself supports several bar types. And today, the first one here on the top, the one I just highlighted, they're the little boxes. So those are actually called candlesticks. So it's just a certain bar type. Now, our chart here, we're actually showing two separate time frames. Now, our candlesticks, the little bars on the very front here, that is going to be the ES instrument. So it's just a popular futures instrument. And we have this on a 15-minute time interval. And then we have it laid over, so we have our layers here. So we have it laid over a 60-minute time interval for the same instrument. So this is just one way on how we can increase the capability of your charting to match your goals. Now another thing you can layer on is another indicator. So you can see I have another magenta indicator. It's another EMA. Now again, we show you this just so you can see how we can increase the capabilities of your charting to match your specific charting goals. Now, if you want to learn more about, say, even this specific chart, we do go into a lot more detail in our Charting 101 webinar that we have later this week. So if you want to learn more about all of these specific features I'm talking about, I'd recommend attending that Charting 101 webinar. And again, you can always sign up for reminders of that webinar on the product education page, and that's the link I posted into the room. Okay, so we'll go ahead and minimize that one, and we're going to take a look at our third window. Okay, so our third window here is in the lower right-hand or left-hand corner. I'm going to maximize that so we can take a look. Now what we're looking at here is just multiple instruments in a single chart window. Now within this window, we have different asset classes and instruments. So now your asset classes, for those of you just getting started, are going to be your futures, your forex, and your equities. So those large groups are defined as your asset class. And then your instruments are just going to be those individual instruments within those asset classes. So just for example, we have your forex would be your asset class, and then each of these currency pairs that I have listed would be that instrument. And then down here we have equities for our asset class, but then we have Apple as the specific stock instrument. So now here we can have all of these multiple instruments in a single charting window. So if you're looking for a snapshot of multiple items at once, you can do this with the NinjaTrader platform. Now people look at different instruments depending on what they are trading, and sometimes use it to compare instruments. So you can use it to compare, say, futures versus a cash value index of a future. Now for us here today, as I mentioned, we have a couple of currency pairs. The forex currency pair is already up, and an equity stock. So we have Apple up here. Now let's go ahead. We haven't added a future, so let's go ahead and add a future so we can see just how quickly we can add an instrument into NinjaTrader. So I can go ahead and add my ES. So again, that futures instrument. And click OK, and it'll go ahead and add that instrument into NinjaTrader. So you can see just how quickly you can add an additional instrument into our charting window. Now, if you have any problems as you get going with NinjaTrader, what you can do is you can always get help by hitting the F1 key on your keyboard, and it's going to take you to the help guide section for NinjaTrader. So if I go ahead and hit that F1 key, it's going to go ahead and open up my help guide here. So this is the NinjaTrader help guide. Now what's really cool about this, and what I really like, is that it opens you up to the specific section of the help guide for whatever window you're in. So we were just in a charting window, and so it takes us to the specific charts section of our NinjaTrader help guide. And then you can kind of go from there in learning more. So it has a lot of different resources in here. All right, so what we just took a look at was 3 different charts with 3 different features. So the first chart window that we took a look at is how we can add different indicators to our charts. And we discovered how we have over 100 preloaded indicators already in NinjaTrader. Now that second window that we took a look at shows how you can overlay bar types in a chart and how you can view different time intervals in the same chart window. Now the last one that I still currently have up shows how we can display multiple instruments within just one chart window. And we took a look at just how quickly we can add an instrument to our chart. Now this is all great for your technical analysis, However, you still need to trade live. So next what we're going to do is we're going to actually take a look at order entry. Now, before we actually move on to order entry, I just want to see how everybody's doing real quick. If anybody has any questions on what we covered so far, feel free to put those into the room now. Any questions on what we covered so far, feel free to put those into the room now. All right, Dave. Question is, what is the difference between the free NinjaTrader download and the purchase lease of NinjaTrader? So both the free simulation version that you download, so that's what we're using today, will give you access to all the features of NinjaTrader for use with for simulated trading. And so we can use the SuperDOM, we can use ChartTrader, we can learn about ATM strategies. And if you're not familiar with all these features, we are going to go over them. But so that free version of NinjaTrader is going to give you access to all of those features. And then once you're actually ready to trade live, that's when you would want to purchase or lease NinjaTrader. And so you'll have access to all those same features. It's just for live trading. All right, Simon, yours is, I'm curious about how to use the SuperDOM. We are actually going to take a look at the SuperDOM next, so don't worry, we are going to cover that. And then we do have additional webinar, Simon, so you can learn even more in-depth information than what we're covering today on that SuperDOM feature. And so we have that in our Order Entry 101 webinar. All right, and the next question is how to check a CQG connection. If you're having issues with your connection, I would actually recommend emailing platform support at ninjatrader.com, and then they can give you more support there for your connection. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and I am going to disconnect from my demo, because remember I said I was connected to that free futures demo that's offered through NinjaTrader brokerage. And instead, I'm going to go ahead and connect to the simulated data feed in NinjaTrader. Now, when you connect to this, you'll see a little trend slider come up. Now, our simulated data feed, that's built into every installation of NinjaTrader. And so anybody who's downloaded NinjaTrader can use that simulated data feed. Now, what it is it's purely fabricated data, but what it does is it mimics the market that we're looking at. Now, this trend slider that I said popped up helps me move the market up and down. So I can slide this here. And we're going to very clearly show you the value of this displayed in just a little bit. Now, I just want to let you all know before we get going in this section that we are going to be using some trading language. So don't be alarmed. We're going to cover this as we go along. So the first window we're covering is going to be the SuperDOM window. And so that's this window here. Now I can't expand this one, but you can see I have my price ladder display. So that's the window that we're looking at. Does everybody see which window we're looking at? Just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Now, the SuperDOM is an order entry window, which is just a display of market pricing. And what we can do is we can then place and modify your orders in the SuperDOM window. Now, what it is it's a depth of market interface. And so that's the DOM, that's a DOM. It stands for depth of market. So what it means is that if you look at my buy column here or my sell column, these prices listed are the pending orders at this specific price point, 5 levels deep. All right, so if everybody sees those numbers. Now, what makes the NinjaTrader interface super is that we innovated new features that allow a trader to better accomplish their trading goals through the use of semi-automated orders, which is the basis for our ATM which I'm actually going to be showing you in just a few minutes. Now, I love how visually understandable this window is. Now, you'll see this more as I go through, but just as we get started, you can see that I have my current bid in the blue here. My current ask is highlighted in green, and then this yellow highlighted cell that you see here moving is going to be the current market price. So if I go ahead and place a market order here, my order gets filled right away. Now we can also place a limit order just so that you can see my orders here in the market. Now this is a pending order at this market price so that me and whoever else is waiting at that price point adds up, and then we provide that market depth. So we add to that number basically. Now, as I said, we can place and then modify our orders that we have in the SuperDOM window. And so if I want to modify it, I can go ahead and move each specific limit order. I can even cancel out of individual orders just by clicking the red X next to that order. Now today, the idea is just to show you all of the capabilities that we have for the SuperDOM. But because the SuperDOM is such a big feature, there is another 30-minute course that goes on, and it goes into a higher level of detail. So you can see more about placing orders in the SuperDOM window and modifying them. And that's going to be in that Order Entry 101 webinar. So if you want to learn more, I'd invite you to attend our Order Entry 101 webinar. So we took it kind of just the basics of our SuperDOM window and how we can place some orders and modify some orders. Now I actually want to show you a powerful feature called Advanced Trade Management. Now going forward, I will refer to this as ATM. Now it's called Advanced Trade Management because this is where you can actually set predetermined buy and sell conditions that this software is then going to execute on your behalf. And so the name is actually very literal to what it does. Now this is one of the features that our founder innovated and helped create the initial success for the NinjaTrader platform. It also is one of the features that makes the SuperDOMs pretty super. Now before a trader ever enters the market, you normally have a clear idea of where you want to enter and where you want to exit for a profit, and then how much risk you're willing to accept for a trade, which is ultimately becomes your stop loss. Now what you do to use the ATM is then you input all of that information into the NinjaTrader ATM, and then it executes it for you. So this is where utilizing the speed of a computer over the speed of a human gives you an advantage, because you cannot place orders as quickly as a computer can. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look at how we can use ATM. Now I've already created a strategy. So I'm going to select it from our drop-down menu. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my order. All right, so you can see my orders here. Now that I've placed my orders, I can just sit back and let the trade execute, taking my emotions out of the trading. And then I can also monitor the trade itself. Okay, so earlier I said that NinjaTrader tries to make this as visually understandable as possible. So what do you guys think the green is going to mean? Right, so you're right. So it's going to be our profit target. So green is good, so it's going to be our profit. All right, so it went ahead and filled all my profit targets here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to replace it so we can take a look at what's actually happening. Now I place my ATM strategy here. So you can see I have my 3 profit targets, and then the red is going to be your stop loss. So these are the parameters that I already have set down here. Now the value over a trend slider, so like I said, we're going to very clearly see this, is going to be I can then control whether the market moves up or down in my simulation environment. And so what that does is it gives us the freedom to actually test out our strategies before we ever get into a live situation or a live trading situation. So if I wanted it to hit my profit targets, I would go ahead and just slide this trend slider up. So you can see it's going to trend my market upwards. And then it's going to go ahead and let me test out my strategy and make sure it works. So once I hit my profit targets, it's going to close out of the corresponding stop loss. Now let's say I placed it one more time. And on the last one, I decided I wanted to get a little greedier. I can go ahead and just move my profit target. All right, and I see we do have a question in the room. Is there a running P&L per trade? Down here in the bottom of our column, our price column, it's actually going to display your open and your P&L. So you can see this, it's the bottom of this middle price column. All right, so you can see that I kind of have this one, my last profit target here, and then the corresponding stop loss is still open as well. Now there are a ton of capabilities with the SuperDOM and the ATM feature of NinjaTrader. And so we actually try and break this down and provide it in more bite-sized chunks for you guys. So what we did is we actually broke up more information about the ATM into 2 different sessions. And so that's the Advanced Trade Management 201 and then 301. And so if you want to learn more about our specific ATM feature, I'd invite you to that Advanced Trade Management 201 or Advanced Trade Management 301. Now again, really cool feature of NinjaTrader, I love this one, is if you hit the F1 key on our keyboard, it's going to take us to our help guide. So if you have specific questions about the SuperDOM window, if you hit that F1 key when you're in the SuperDOM window, it's going to take you to the SuperDOM section of the NinjaTrader Help Guide. So if you have those specific questions, it's going to get you started in the right direction. And then you can go from there. Okay, so we took a look at one way of order entry, and that's through the NinjaTrader SuperDOM. And so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a look at charting for order entry. So everything that we were just doing in our SuperDOM window can also be done on a chart. Now this way, what we can do is we can have our charting analytics then on the same chart as our order entry. Keeps everything all in one window for me to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize our chart window that we are going to take a look at. So now how this is accomplished is NinjaTrader features the Chart Trader tool, which will actually allow you to place your orders directly on the chart. So I'll go ahead and just click place a buy market order. And you can see this working on my chart, or you can see my order that I placed on my chart. And this is represented with this line. Now we can also place more orders. So we have some quick buttons here on the side. So buy or sell at market, buy or sell at ask, and then buy or sell at the current bid. But we also have additional orders that we can place, or types of orders that we can place. So I'm just going to go ahead and place a couple of them on my window here so that you can see it working. So again, all of my orders here are going to be represented by the lines on my chart, and that's available with the Chart Trader feature. So now I can go ahead and modify these the same way that I did within the SuperDOM. So if you remember, all I did was click on it and then click again to move it. So I can move my individual orders within the chart window as well. Same way that we did in the SuperDOM. I can even cancel out of individual orders by clicking on the red X next to each order. Now I'm going to go ahead and just close out of all of my orders here. And we're going to show how we can place that ATM strategy that we placed within this SuperDOM in our chart window. So it's going to be the exact same thing that we just saw on our SuperDOM, but instead it is going to be within our chart. So you can see this working on our chart. Now I'm going to go ahead and minimize this a little bit so that you can see this other cool feature that we have is we actually linked our two windows together. So we linked our SuperDOM window with our charting window. And so what that does is when my windows are linked, it allows me to see everything that I'm doing on my chart. So all the orders I'm placing on my chart, I will then see all these orders within the SuperDOM. Now let's say I modify one of these orders in my chart window. That order is also modified within the SuperDOM window. So you can see I just went ahead and moved my order, my profit target, my last profit target I moved up. So I moved that in my chart. You can see that that moved also in the SuperDOM. Now the reason we have a couple different ways of order entry is just to give you choice and flexibility and different options for your trading. So for example, and I know somebody mentioned they like to scalp earlier, and people who are scalping might like the SuperDOM better, but people who are doing analytics may prefer the chart over the dome. So it's just to give you options for your trading to see which one you like the best. All right, and I do see a question into the room from Simon. How did you link them? Great question, Simon. So there is an L in the upper right-hand corner of each of your windows. And if you click on that L, it comes down with a drop-down menu of colors. So by default, they're just all unlinked so that you can do whatever you want with each window. But if you want to see the same thing on each window, you can select a specific color. So if I selected that blue color, which I have, and then if I go over to my chart, click on the L in the chart window and select that same color, it's going to link those two windows. And you can do this with more than two windows. We had our entire, we had a couple more windows linked as well. So if I wanted to link all of my windows that I have in my workspace, I can link all of those windows together. Okay, so we just took a look at order entry. And now we're going to take a look at another feature of NinjaTrader called our Market Analyzer. So that's this box in the lower right-hand corner. Now think of a Market Analyzer window as charting without the charts, but all of that information is there. So within our Market Analyzer, we can use indicators. We can actually create alerts versus monitor use indicators. We can actually create alerts versus monitoring a chart. Now this way, you won't actually need the graphics because you've already told the analyzer when you want to be alerted. So you can have hundreds of instruments and their data in the Market Analyzer window, which can't be done on a chart. Now this capability is what traders find beneficial and why we are the top day trading platform. So within our Market Analyzer window, we have futures, forex, and equities all listed. So all three different asset classes. Let's say you have a bunch of different stocks that you want to look at. So a list of like 100 different stocks you want to look at. You can add all of those into your Market Analyzer window and set a specific alert for when you want to be alerted for those stocks. So it gives you freedom with your trading here. All right, and Simon, I see that there is a lost connection. Is that on your specific NinjaTrader or was that with the presentation? All right, so what we did, everybody, is we just took a look at two different ways for entering orders into NinjaTrader. So we used the SuperDOM window and then ChartTrader. We also learned about ATM strategies and how we can use these strategies to get our trades into the market at a computer speed versus human speed. And then finally, that last window we just took a look at was the market analyzer window and how we can have so much information for many different instruments all within the same market analyzer window, which we can't do on our chart. Now, the last thing that I wanted to just kind of briefly cover is how we can use custom development utilizing NinjaScript. So we're going to go back to our slideshow so I can show you an example. All right, can everybody see the slide that I just put up? If you can, go ahead and type a Y into the room real quick for me. Wonderful. Just want to make sure everybody's still with me. Now, one thing that's great about NinjaTrader is that we have NinjaScript. And so what NinjaScript is it's actually based on the industry standard Microsoft C# programming language. So if you are a programmer, you can actually develop your own work, or even if you're not, you can always work with a certified NinjaScript consultant. Now again, remember, NinjaTrader has an entire ecosystem of developers and third-party add-on providers that have developed indicators and strategies and education, and they're always adding new items. Okay, so what we just covered is we're going to actually bring up our entire workspace. So let me pull all of those back up because we minimized some so that we could focus on each specific window. All right, so we're going to pop over back to our desktop. So what we just covered is we first took a look at 3 different chart windows and 3 of the different capabilities or analytic capabilities of NinjaTrader. So we can add instruments, we can have layers and multi-time level all in the same window, and we can also take a look at several different instruments all in the same chart. Now the next thing we covered was our SuperDOM and order entry. So order entry through the SuperDOM and ChartTrader. And then we took a look at our ATM strategies and how we can use these to get our trades into that market faster. Then we took a look at our market analyzer, again, just how we can look at multiple different instruments within one window and set specific alerts for those instruments. And then we briefly covered our custom development utilizing NinjaScript. Now, with all of this functionality that we covered, the idea is that your requirements will never outgrow NinjaTrader, so you'll never need another platform again. All right, so I'm just going to post the last poll question into the room for today. Is just, did we cover the objectives we discussed at the beginning of our class? So you can go ahead and put everything in there. And I will go ahead and answer questions here in just a moment. So feel free to put your questions into the room. Now, today we were looking at the Blue Dojo workspace. So if you would like to learn how to build this workspace or others like it, I would invite you to join me in just a few short hours to learn the first steps you will need to use these high-powered tools that I demonstrated today.